Hello everybody, welcome back to Papa's Saw Shop. I'm Papa, and today, like I always tell you, we're going to do something a little bit different, but we really are today. I had a couple of complaints recently, and a couple of people said, "Hey, you know what? You're always talking about chainsaws. Can you talk about something other than chainsaws?" I said, "All right, fine." So today we're going to talk about lawnmowers. All right, and in particularly, we are going to do something really out there when it comes to Papa's Saw Shop. We're going to talk about this guy. Haha, there he is. The Ryobi 40-volt brushless 20-inch battery-powered electric lawnmower. Looks something like the Batmobile, a little bit, or like my grandson's toy car. So anyway, the other, I don't know how long it's been. I guess it doesn't matter. But the other day I was out buying equipment and came across this guy, and so I got it pretty cheap. And the guy says, it runs great. I've just got this big backyard, and when he said big backyard, it's more like a 2-acre pasture. But he pretty much destroyed a few gas-powered lawnmowers, and he said, "Well, I'll try electric." Well, of course, electric didn't work for him either. If you notice on this one, the back tires are a little bit different than the front tires, because I put some different back tires on it because he ran the back tires off in his 2-acre backyard. So I kind of wanted to give a review of this because we just hardly ever have battery-operated things here, and so I thought, well, what the heck, we'll do one on this one. So I got I'll give you a little sneak peek into our backyard there. There's a hot tub over there and all that, so it kind of gives you an idea of what we have for a yard. And so, not really a big yard, but that's our backyard there for the most part. We got this little patch here. So anyway, I did this a little bit different. Our front yard's, it's probably about the size of that green patch up there. So I mowed the front yard with this guy, and then I had the wife mow the backyard. And so we could both kind of have an opinion on this. And the one thing that we both our opinions matched, I guess, was that it feels a little cumbersome driving it, which is weird because the whole thing is very light. I mean, this probably weighs. Gosh, if I had to guess, I would say this thing probably weighs all of 20 pounds at the most. And it seems almost like most of the weight, she's got a little bit of grass in the bag, so most of the weight's probably the grass in the bag here. But if it weighs 20 pounds, it's a wet 20 pounds. It's not very heavy. So I wanted to kind of show you what this does, how it works. So here's the battery for it. We'll get into some of this in a little bit, but this is the battery charger, I should say. Right there, pretty simple guy, plugged into the wall. Battery plugs into there. And then there's the battery right there under the hood. And then it's got a little spot for an extra battery. I believe that these, when you buy one, I believe that brand new, you get the charger and you get one battery in the mower. And they're kind of pricey for what they are. There's not much, and that shows you what's under the hood. We'll show you what's underneath here. There's not a heck of a lot down here. Just one single blade. It's got electric motor, of course, and so you can see right there the fins for the cooling, I suppose. But it's a very simple machine. So the good part of these is that you don't have to crank on a gas powered mower, I guess, if that's a problem for you. These things start. I mean, as far as let's show you that first. When you first get your hands on this damn thing, it's weird because, and I had to walk the wife through some of this a little bit because I didn't want her to hit a tree branch or something and something shut the mower off. So let me show you first of all how the mower does not run. Okay. So I did notice if this, for some reason, is not exactly where it needs to be, it won't start. If that is not on, it won't start. Okay, we're just gonna, yeah, there's all your 20 pounds of weight right there, Papa. All right, so the bag's got to be on for it to start. The hood's got to be shut. And these guys here, if that's flipped like that, it won't start. Okay, if this is turned, well, I couldn't get it to start either. So, seems like there's a lot of safety things on here to make sure the damn thing won't start. But if everything is working okay and all the stars are aligned, then it's pretty easy to start. You pull back on this. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. There's a little button right down here. And there you go. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to start. It's kind of weird because this is like a starter. You hit this thing and you got to keep your finger on that thing for, I suppose 5 or 10 seconds. If you don't, it won't stay running. So you got to keep that on there long enough for it to start the motor in there. Which seems a little weird to me, but I mean, I haven't been into this thing, so I don't really know exactly how it runs. You would think this would be a lot easier and a lot lighter to run. It's really not. And the main reason is, I believe, is because there's no weight on the front end. And so you always got this. You see this? And so as soon as you start to mow, you got grass in the back end, of course, because you're catching it with the bag, and you don't have a choice. You have to have the bag on there. So it makes it a little cumbersome to turn because there's no weight difference in the front. You know, if you had a little weight in the front, it seems like it would be better to go around corners and stuff. So there's that. The one nice thing about it is that, excuse the doggy landmines out here. Camera's probably going to pick up on every one of them. But if you're mowing, and I'm not going to turn this thing on because you wouldn't hear me if I did. But if you had a gas powered mower, you would mow forward, and then of course you'd have to come back, and you'd have the engine running the whole time, so that you could kind of somehow squeeze your way around here. So with this, or you would, you'd, like we all do, you'd go forward and then you'd come back and remow the same one. And really the only reason you're doing that is so that you could do this, and then you'd have this mowed, and then, we all know the drill. You come back here, and then you do this little loop-de-loop here so that we can turn the corner. So that's how we would do a gas-powered, okay? With an electric, and the engine would be running the whole time. With this guy, it's a whole different experience because you turn it on, you mow right here, the engine's turned on, and then you just shut it off, move it wherever you want to, and then turn it back on again, and then you can turn this thing off and on 100 times. It's pretty effortless to turn it off and on. While I'm waving this camera around, trying to hold a mower and a hammer at the same time. So So it's a little easier to maneuver that way. But when you're, if you got a yard like this and you got to maneuver around those trees and around that big tree at the end, and and this gets a little heavy back here at the back, and it just gets cumbersome. So if anybody tells you it's a lot easier to mow with an electric mower, I would probably disagree. I don't think it's any more or less difficult. I mean, mowing a yard's mowing a yard, no matter how you're powering it. The pros about this thing is that, again, there's no gas, so I mean, there's that. There's the maintenance on it is pretty much zero, because I mean it's battery and electric mower, electric motor, and then the blade. So the maintenance on it is pretty much nothing. The other nice thing I like about it is the weight. The fact that it's so light. I mean, I could open up my old shed in there and probably just hang the damn thing on the wall. I mean, it's so light that it doesn't really have to have that much space anywhere. I mean, I suppose I could probably go around the back here and just hang it right on the outside wall out here. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything because all this is covered up and pretty much waterproof. So I mean, even if it got rained on, I don't think it would really do any damage to it. You could cover it if you wanted to, but it looks like this one's been out in the rain anyway. So there's that. I mean, it is a lot more lightweight. I say pretty much maintenance free. But if we're talking maintenance, you got this big old battery in here. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. So there's the battery right there. That thing's a monster. And let's see how much battery power we got left. We mowed 2 yards with it. Oh, we still got 3 on there, 3 out of 4 dots. So we're still doing pretty good. So that ain't bad. I mean, I would say we're probably going to get a couple more lawn mowings out of this before we have to charge the battery. But the bad part about a battery is that once those batteries are done, the battery is the mower. Take away everything else. When you're buying this mower, you're buying that battery right there. Everything else is pennies. So when the battery goes out, just the mower is done. It's from what I've seen online, it seems to me like you're going to spend more on a battery than what you'd spend on the whole damn mower. So there's that. There's your negative. The other bad thing is the wheels. Now I put these other ones on here, and excuse the dog turds all over the damn wheels. Apparently I picked the most favorite part of the dog yard to mow over here when I'm showing this off. But so there's the yard, the wheels that I put on. I took those off of an old power washer and rigged them up so that they would actually work on there. These are the original wheels here, and they are, well, to put it in one word, they're junk. I just don't think they're going to hold up very well at all. So when I have a lawnmower around that I can rob some more wheels off, I'll just take these off and put some better wheels on it, because the wheels that come on these that come with it are just junk. As far as the whole thing, not bad. I mean, I guess if I had to rate it out of 10, as my granddaughter always says, how would you rate this thing out of 10? I suppose I'd probably give it a 5 anyway. It's way more cumbersome than what I thought it would be. To store it is pretty cool. to charge a battery is that's kind of a cool deal. But if you're tired of having gas and all that kind of stuff, gas powered equipment, then I guess that's a good idea. But if you're up in the air about it, you know, for the cost, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between this and a gas powered one myself. So anyway, I hope this helps. It shows you how to run it and what to do with it. And if you got any questions on these things, be sure to leave me a comment or a question down there. And there I am. And if you're interested in buying one, I've obviously got one here. So anyway, if you're looking for parts for these things, batteries, wheels, anything like that, let me know. I could probably hook you up with them. And Ryobi's is one of our dealers that we deal with around here, and we sell Ryobi parts and have a relationship with Ryobi. So anyway, there's my backyard review of the Ryobi battery powered 40-watt 20-inch brushless lawnmower. So for all those that says it's all about chainsaws on your channel, hey, sometimes it's about lawnmowers too. So all right, anyway, till next time, be careful out there and happy motoring.